Yesterday, YouTube was down. I wasn't able to do Hack My Lineup, but we're back today. We're doing fantasy football rankings for week 10. Let's jump right into the rankings for quarterback. Two elite options here, Kyler Murray and Josh Allen. This is going to be the highest scoring game of this week. At least that's how Vegas has it. About 56.5 total points. Any team can win it. So we're expecting a super shootout between Josh Allen and Kyler Murray, two amazing elite quarterbacks. So those are my two elite options. And then we got Russell Wilson. I got a gut feeling that the Rams defense might be able to contain this guy. Is he superhuman, or is he just a really good quarterback? We're going to find out this week, because I think the Rams have a formula to contain him. Maybe only 2 touchdowns, maybe less than 300 yards. Because so far, he's really tinkering on the edge of being superhuman, putting up video game numbers. He's a clear-cut MVP winner, but that could change in a couple weeks. We'll see. The Rams defense has surprised me so much this year. They're playing so much better. I thought they were doomed when they signed all these big-name, big-contract guys like Gurley, Goff, Aaron Donald, and then traded everything to go get Jalen Ramsey. I thought once they got Jalen Ramsey, that wouldn't work out, and that whole franchise would be done. But it's worked out so far. It looks like 3 teams in the NFC West could make playoffs. I expect 3 of them to do it. Cardinals, Seahawks, and Rams. They could all make it. So this is a very important game, of course, for the Rams. If they win, I think they got a really good shot of making playoffs. Same thing with the Cardinals. If they win this game, I think they got a really good shot at making playoffs too. Yeah, and so even though I do believe that, you just can't rank Russell Wilson out of the top 3. He's been so good. And matchups, they're a huge factor, but they're not everything. If I have a stud player, and Russell Wilson is exactly that, he's a super elite quarterback, I'm not benching him, and I'm not ranking him lower just because he has a tough matchup. But we'll see. I just basically saying, I'm very excited to see if they can actually contain this guy. We'll see about that. And really not a big difference between guys like Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers, Jared Goff. Of course, Seahawks pass defense, horrible. They allow so many fantasy points to the quarterback and wide receiver position that it's just unbelievable. So that's why I got Jared Goff as a great streaming option. But between those 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, and guys like Drew Lock, Tannehill, Bridgewater, there is not a big difference between number 4 and number 15. Like, there really isn't. Like, any of these guys can ball out, which I guess just further shows us that you probably shouldn't draft a quarterback early. Well, at least don't draft the best quarterback. Don't be the first guy to draft a quarterback, as in don't draft Lamar Jackson. I'm pretty much off the Lamar Jackson hype train now. I know you guys were off of it a long time ago. I know I'm late. I know that. I was still giving him a chance, and I was wrong. It's official. Justin Herbert's better. I got you. And the only reason I don't have Wentz ranked higher is because this is going to be a low-scoring game, and Wentz does make a good amount of mistakes. Still like Wentz. He's still top 10. I got him here. Reason Brady's not higher, even though I think he's going to be great and have a great bounce-back game, good matchup against the Panthers, is because of the rushing stats. Wentz, Lamar, Herbert, much better rushing quarterbacks, and if you get 50 rushing yards, that's more than when Tom Brady throws a passing touchdown, which is 4 points. Rushing for 50 yards is 5 fantasy points. So I'm really favoring these rushing stats, and that's really the only reason I don't have Tom Brady ranked like number 7. I do believe he will bounce back. Okay, let's move on to running backs right here. Alvin Kamara does lose value, does take a hit now that Mike Thomas is back, but don't get my words twisted. I'm not saying he sucks, just saying his value takes a hit. He's still top 3, top 4, always will be in that range, maybe even top 2, maybe even the best, but he's just not that super elite level that we saw like the first 6-7 weeks. That's not going to happen, okay? Still going to be great. Still going to be elite. Still going to be tier 1. By the way, guys, you can find the updated written rankings on fantasycouch.com. Link below in the description. Also the pinned comment. James Conner expect a huge bounce back game. Miles Sanders expected to play. Mike Davis, a must start. Christian McCaffrey has been ruled out. McCaffrey might miss. He's going to miss 1 week. He might miss 2 or more weeks, though. We'll find out. He might only miss 1 week. We'll see. And 2 guys I really wanted to talk about here are Duke Johnson and David Johnson, and then the Bears situation. So David Johnson in concussion protocol, highly unlikely to clear it and play this week. Assuming that's the case, Duke Johnson slides into my top 10 rankings for running backs. And he's not great, but I like what I saw last week from him in that workhorse role. I think he can get the job done. I think he's still good. That's right, not great, but good. Now, David Montgomery, same situation as the other David Johnson, but, the Bears play Monday night, which gives Montgomery an extra day to clear concussion protocol. So he's got a higher shot at doing it. I have Montgomery in the IG Experts League, so I went and got Ryan Nall as an emergency start because I need a running back this week. All my running backs are on bye. But there is a good argument to be made for Cordell Patterson, who's been getting a lot more carries. Ryan Nall gets like no carries. But Ryan Nall, he catches the ball, scored a receiving touchdown last week. So, you go either way. Also, in a lot of leagues, Patterson has dual position eligibility. It's hard to say that. So you can start him in the running back spot. You can start him at wide receiver, and you can start him in flex. That just depends on what platform you're using. They're all different. But on ESPN, he definitely has dual position eligibility. And just note that, David Montgomery has about a 34% chance to play, while David Johnson has about a 7.5% chance to play. And Mixon did not practice Thursday. He's trending in the wrong direction. So Gio Bernard, I like him, but not too much because he is playing against the Steelers. One thing about Gio Bernard that's been great when Mixon's out, and when he does play too, is that he catches a lot of balls. And so that's going to really help us out in PPR and even half PPR leagues. Wide receivers, don't really have much to talk about here other than Mike Thomas. I got him in my top 5. If he's playing, you got to start him. He's not 100% quite yet. He's limited in practice, but still, he is Mike Thomas. Let's see what he can do against my banged up Niners. For tight ends, I still have faith in Mark Andrews. I know he's been very disappointing, but I'm still hoping, like, Lamar Jackson window is closed, all right? But with the Mark Andrews hype train, I'm still on it. I still believe in this guy. I think he can do it. You got to rank him in your at least top 4 this week. The very least, he's got to be ahead of guys like Ingram and Hooper and Gronk. I think so. Dallas Goedert, though, I'm going all in on Dallas Goedert. This offense, this Eagles offense, is really centered around the tight end traditionally. They use Zach Ertz a lot, but now that he's out and now that Dallas Goedert is back, keep in mind that a lot of fantasy owners were disappointed in Goedert. I said bench him last week. It's his first game back. He kind of rushed back from that injury, or that's just my assumption. He came back early from that injury. We'll put it like that. And he only had 1 catch. This week, I think he's going to be much more heavily involved in that offense. So I'm all in on him. I'm telling everyone to start Dallas Goedert for sure. Noah Fant, you can consider him top 3, but he's been a little bit disappointing. Maybe he's still bothered by that injury. I think he'll be much more healthier and he'll ball out. Like, if you got Noah Fant, I think you're going to start him. As you can see, I got him in my top 4. And keep tabs on TJ Hawkinson. Golladay might not play. Hawkinson might not play. And that makes Washington defense possibly a really sneaky start. Also, same thing with when I talked about Goddard coming back, his first game back from that injury. That was the same deal with Jordan Reed. Kind of rushed back from that injury, came back early, and he only had one catch, I think. He barely did anything. And I'm okay with starting Jordan Reed this week. I'm very comfortable with doing that. The only reason you wouldn't be, I think, like, I'm not scared of his involvement in the offense. I'm scared he'll probably get hurt soon. Jordan Reed, ladies and gentlemen, the most injury-prone player in all of fantasy football. Okay, for defenses, I already told you guys, Eagles D, my number one favorite streaming defense this week. Jair Alexander might not play. Huge blow to the Packers D if that's the case. He's such an elite cornerback. But if he does play, you can even boost him all the way up to the 4 spot. So keep tabs on that. And yeah, after these top 3, it's pretty messy. What's going to happen? Like the Vikings D going against the Bears. There's so many options, and it's so dang messy. And it's pretty much a crapshoot, but I'd be comfortable with these 3 defenses, especially these 2. And hey, I could be wrong, especially about the Eagles D, but I like them so much more than these other options that they made my top 2. For kickers, I'm doing it this week. Justin Tucker's not my number 1 kicker. It's Will Lutz. Everything aligns to this. You got Kamara, you got Mike Thomas, you got Breeze, you got a banged up Niners defense. And so everything's going to align for Will Lutz to put up a lot of points. I still love Justin Tucker, just not as much as Lutz this week. Boswell gets a significant boost if Big Ben plays, but we're already assuming Big Ben's going to play. Oh, did I not talk about Big Ben? So Big Ben, I think I totally forgot to talk about Big Ben. That was my fault. Let's go back. We'll rewind this. We'll go back because this is a big one. So Ben Roethlisberger right now, he's on that special reserve list. Now he has tested negative, and so I'm fully expecting him to play. Big trustworthy sources have said he's tested negative at least once, while other sources that are good, which is not the ones I usually use, have said that he's tested negative multiple times. So he's looking like he's going to be good to go. I'm assuming he's going to play and just adjusting my lineup accordingly. I have him in my Superflex Instagram Extras League. I'm hoping he plays. And he won't be able, I don't think he'll be able to squeeze in even one practice if he's able to play. It's just basically same exact situation as Matthew Stafford last week, where he was questionable. He may not have played. And then last minute, they're like, okay, you're able to play. No practice, no nothing. He went and played, and I don't think he did that well. But anyway, if Big Ben does play, Chris Boswell, I love him, and I would trust him a lot, and he's an elite option this week at kicker. A little bit of wind in this Green Bay Packers game, so keep tabs on that if you're going to start Mason Crosby. Jason Sanders, still 100% from extra point, still 100% from field goal, and my favorite upside kicker this week is going to be Brandon McManus. Going against the Raiders, he's going to get a ton of opportunities. As long as Drew Lock doesn't make many major mistakes, Brandon McManus will get a ton of opportunities to kick a ton of field goals. And all these top 11 options are great right here. Even I like Suckup this week. I think he'll be good. But Rodrigo Blankenship, I want to talk about really quick. A lot of people don't trust him, have lost complete faith in him. I've only lost a little bit of trust and faith in Blankenship, and I'd be totally comfortable starting him Thursday night against the Titans. Great matchup. I see him having a bounce back game. He'll be good. I just don't like him and trust him as much as these top 10 guys. Obviously, that's how rankings work. Make sure you guys are subscribed to this YouTube channel and check out the rankings. They're written, updated in the description below, pinned comment. Also subscribe to our second YouTube channel, Fantasy Couch Podcast. Really helps support us, and it's absolutely free to do so. Smash that thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thumbs down if you did not enjoy this video. Let's go get that W this week. Have fun. Get the win. In order to have fun, though, we got to win, guys. All right, guys. Good luck this week.